You explain why you are tired, why you changed your mind, why something hurt. You include the details, the timeline, the proof. Not because you enjoy over-explaining, but because somewhere along the way, being honest may have stopped feeling like enough. Maybe you were called too sensitive. Maybe your memory was corrected before your experience was heard. Maybe your feelings were treated like exaggerations. Maybe your practical needs were met, but your inner world was repeatedly missed. This is one way childhood emotional neglect can look. The child speaks, and nobody really listens. The child hurts, and someone explains why they should not. So the child adapts. You did not only learn to explain yourself, you learned to build a case for your own reality. In this video, we will look at 10 habits that can develop when a child repeatedly feels doubted, dismissed, or emotionally unseen. None of these habits proves anything about your childhood. They can have other causes. But when several appear together, they may point to one quiet rule. Your experience is only safe when you can defend it. Stay until the end for 4 ways to begin trusting your experience, without preparing for a trial that may never happen. Your nervous system learns through repetition. If honesty repeatedly led to ridicule, correction, or dismissal, being questioned may have stopped feeling like disagreement. It began to feel like a threat to connection and to your right to trust yourself. So your mind remembered, documented, explained, prepared. Your brain learned to become its own witness. The first habit is over-explaining simple decisions. You do not just say, "I cannot come." You explain the schedule, the exhaustion, the appointment, and why you are not secretly angry. A simple decision becomes a defense. When your no was not accepted without debate, you may have learned that preference was not enough. You needed a reason nobody could challenge. Now your mind prepares the courtroom before anyone has accused you. The second habit is preferring difficult conversations in writing. A message gives you time. You can choose every word, read it again, remove anything that could be misunderstood, and the words remain. Spoken conversations disappear. People interrupt. But a message stays visible, searchable, harder to rewrite. Your nervous system may not only be trying to communicate, it may be trying to leave a record. The third habit is saving messages, screenshots, and receipts. You keep the confirmation, the old email, the screenshot you may never need, because part of you is preparing for, "That never happened." The proof is not always for someone else. Sometimes it is for you. A way to say, "No, I did not imagine it. This was real." When emotional neglect teaches you to doubt your own perceptions, evidence becomes emotional backup. The fourth habit is remembering exact words, dates, and details. You remember the sentence, the tone, where the person was standing. For some people, accuracy becomes protection. If vague memories were dismissed, your mind may have learned to store important moments like an archive. Because if you remembered enough, maybe nobody could replace your version with theirs. The fifth habit is correcting small inaccuracies immediately. Someone tells a story about you and gets one detail wrong. It was not Tuesday, it was Wednesday. The correction seems unnecessary to everyone else, but it does not feel small to you. If one detail changes, part of you fears the entire story is becoming unstable. You may not be trying to win, you may be protecting the credibility of the whole experience. The sixth habit is describing painful events without much emotion. You describe something devastating in a calm voice. "This happened, then this happened, then I left." People may think you are detached, but perhaps emotion once made people take you less seriously. You cried, and they called you dramatic. You became angry, and they focused on your tone instead of what happened. So you learned to remove emotion from the story, so nobody could use it to dismiss the story itself. The pain did not disappear, it learned to dress like evidence. The seventh habit is admitting your mistakes before anyone asks. "I know I was late. I could have explained it better. I am not saying I handled everything perfectly." You place your flaws on the table before anyone can point to them. If you confess the small mistake first, maybe nobody can use it to destroy your credibility later. Sometimes this is accountability, but sometimes it is preventive self-defense. The eighth habit is struggling to say, "I'm not sure." Uncertainty can feel dangerous. Because if one detail is unclear, someone might question everything. So you search your memory. You try to produce an exact answer. You may fear what another person could do with uncertainty. A gap in memory feels like a loose thread, and part of you expects the whole story to come apart. The ninth habit is panicking when someone remembers an event differently. Two people can experience the same moment differently. But when someone says, "That is not how I remember it," your body reacts first. Your chest tightens. Your thoughts accelerate. You need to explain. The disagreement does not feel like a normal difference in perspective. It feels like an old message returning. Your version does not count. You are defending more than a memory. You are defending your right to your own experience. The 10th habit is finding false accusations almost unbearable. Being misunderstood hurts most people, but a false accusation may feel impossible to leave alone. You replay the conversation. Write explanations in your head. Search for the sentence that will finally make them understand. It is not only about reputation, it is about reality. When you knew what happened as a child, but had little control over which version adults accepted, being falsely accused may not have felt merely unfair. It may have felt like disappearance. If you recognize yourself in these habits, the goal is not to become careless with facts. It is to stop treating every conversation like a trial you have to survive. First, practice one-sentence answers. Instead of building a defense, say, "That does not work for me." Then stop. Let the silence teach your body that a decision can remain valid without a full explanation. Second, separate disagreement from erasure. Try saying, "We may remember this differently. This is how I experienced it." Another person's perspective does not automatically cancel yours. Third, practice small uncertainty. Say, "I am not completely sure about that detail." Then remind yourself, uncertainty about one part does not invalidate the entire experience. Memory does not need to be perfect for an experience to matter. Fourth, validate the impact before gathering evidence. Before rereading messages or reconstructing the timeline, ask, "What did I feel? What did I need? What do I know right now?" You do not need to prove another person's intention before acknowledging the impact on you. Childhood emotional neglect does not always leave obvious memories. Sometimes it leaves habits. Habits designed to make your reality impossible to dismiss. Over-explaining is not necessarily a personality flaw. Sometimes it is an old attempt to stay credible, connected, and safe. The goal is not to erase that strategy. It is to update it, to teach your nervous system that some people can listen without demanding evidence. That disagreement is not erasure, and that your experience does not need to become a courtroom exhibit before it is allowed to matter. You are not learning to care less about the truth. You are learning that your truth does not always need a defense. And if you want to understand more about the hidden patterns shaping your mind, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.